From Hargeisa, Somaliland, this is CBA. Welcome to the news in brief with me, Abdillahi Hassan. Somaliland's President Abdillahi Hassan today met with the European Union Ambassador to Somalia, Nicolas Berlanga Martinez, at his office. In a brief statement, the presidency said the two discussed the role of the international partners in Somaliland's development and increasing the EU's aid to Somaliland. President Bihi and Ambassador Martinez also discussed the overdue parliamentary and local elections. The ambassador has been returning to Somaliland over and over again since mid-2019 to help in breaking the electoral impasse in the country. Somaliland's international partners, led by the EU envoy Nicolas Berlanga Martinez, have repeatedly insisted on holding parliamentary and local elections this year. The prolonged dispute over the National Elections Commission has been the stumbling block that prevented the nation from continuing its democratic momentum after the 2017 presidential election. The last initiative that broke down in the face of political activist belligerence was proposed by an independent mediation committee comprised of elders. It called for the dismissal of the current Elections Commission and replacing it with its predecessor. The government and the opposition parties initially welcomed the proposal, while Ambassador Martinez has endorsed it. However, the government finally said it does not have legal grounds to disband the NEC and called the stakeholders to jointly convince the current commissioners to resign from their positions. The upper house of Somalia's parliament today debated on the country's first election bill for the first time in 3 decades. The election law, which is a significant step towards a universal suffrage this year, was approved by the lower house of the parliament late last December. During the vote, 171 lawmakers voted in favor of the legislation, 5 rejected it and 2 abstained. The bill was presented by a special review parliamentary committee. The bill will become a law if it is passed by the Senate, which is the upper house, and signed by President Abdillahi Hassan. Somalia's international partners recently reaffirmed their commitment to supporting the preparations for the 2020-2021 federal elections. In order for the elections to be held on time, it is essential that an implementable electoral law be adopted as a matter of priority, in keeping with the mutual accountability framework agreed between partners and the Somali authorities in October 2019. Somalia last held one-person, one-vote elections in March 1969. The Speaker of Somaliland's House of Elders, Saleban Mahmoud Adan, denied that he is going to resign from his position soon. Speaker Saleban said he's only heard about his pending resignation from the news. He also denied that he was asked to resign by the president or any other side. The speaker was answering to rumored pending resignation so that the chairman of the controversial National Electoral Commission could take up his position. This is alleged to be the government's bargaining with Abdillahi Hassan, the chairman of the NEC, for his resignation from the electoral body that is the center of the prolonged electoral deadlock. Saleban Mahmoud Adan, who served as a Speaker of the House of Elders since 2004, said he will stay on the job until he is unseated by a worthy competitor. He also completely refuted to be suffering from any health complications apart from old age that would force him to leave his job. Jubaland Security Minister Abdillahi Hassan, who escaped custody in Mogadishu, where he was facing charges, arrived in Nairobi on Friday after arriving in Kismayo by boat. Multiple sources have confirmed that Hassan arrived in the Kenyan capital Friday afternoon aboard a private plane. Sources added that the minister accused of human rights violations sought medical treatment in a city hospital. The circumstances surrounding Hassan's escape from custody in Mogadishu remains obscure, but sources said that the former Dolo District Commissioner escaped through a tunnel and made way to Kismayo. It was, however, not clear where he boarded a boat to Kismayo. In Kismaayo on Friday, Calanka was received by state government officials where he stayed briefly before boarding a flight to Nairobi. Meanwhile, Jubaland Planning Minister Adam Auhirsi announced on Friday his resignation, noting, "Conscience does not allow me to be part of an administration that celebrates harbours a fugitive accused of human rights violations." It is not clear if the Somali government will be seeking the repatriation of Calanka from Kenya to face charges in Mogadishu. A deputy district commissioner in Mogadishu escaped death while two of his bodyguards died in an IED attack Saturday morning. Kahada deputy district commissioner Abdillahi Hassan was injured when the vehicle he was traveling in hit a landmine on a road near Horse Market located in the Kinley district. Two of his bodyguards were killed following the deadly explosion, which extensively damaged the pickup truck they were traveling in. There were no immediate claim of responsibility, but the militant group Al-Shabaab has conducted similar attacks targeting government and security officials. The Political Coalition Forum for National Parties has called on the federal government of Somalia to refrain from interfering with Galmudug state presidential elections while urging national and foreign troops to remain neutral in the process amid confusion on the process, which has seen factions elect their own leaders. The coalition, led by former presidents Hassan Sheikh Mohamud and Sheikh Sharif Sheikh Ahmed, said in a statement the situation in Galmudug was already fragile and any further interference could lead to conflicts and destabilization. We call upon the federal government to refrain from further interference with Galmudug political process, the leader said, adding that the Somali National Army should remain neutral and not be entangled in the process. The statement comes a day ahead of planned election of Galmudug president, led by pro-federal government faction, slated for Sunday. A faction of MPs allied to the outgoing president Ahmed Haf, sitting in Gaalkacayo, elected a new speaker on Wednesday and said it was extending the term of Haf by 2 years so that he can finish a 4-year term. Following the move by Haf's faction, the Ahlus Sunnah wal Jama'ah side elected outgoing Galmudug State Chief Minister Mohammed Shakir as president on Thursday in the capital Dhuusamareeb. In their statement on Friday, FNB also urged foreign troops in Galmudug not to be involved in the electoral process, but instead provide security. The coalition warned against the interference by foreign troops, as was the case in Jubaland presidential elections in September 2019 and in Southwest State in December 2018. The coalition also urged stakeholders, among them candidates and professionals, to take active role in spearheading talks to calm the situation and reach a consensus. They further urged the international community to speak out on the ongoing political crisis. Thank you for joining us. That was our news in brief. Stay tuned for our full and more detailed news coverage later tonight.